This lesson we are starting our next topic on percentages and money, and you should have had sent home to you another package that has got all the reference sheets and textbooks in it. Today we're looking at the very first part of our topic of investing money, and we're looking at percentages and money. So we're focusing today on percentage work. And what I want to remind you is that on our calculators there is a percentage button sometimes, but it doesn't do what we want it to do. So we use our percentages. Remember that percentage means out of 100, and we're going to use that when we do our percentage work. So this lesson, before we move into the financial math stuff, we're reviewing 3 different types of percentage calculations, and the first one is in example 1. And when we find a percentage of an amount. So the example says Ben earns 5% commission on all sales he makes. Calculate Ben's commission for selling a car for $14,990. So he gets 5% of that amount. So he gets 5% of $14,990. So we write 5% as 5 over 100. Or some of the other teachers will have taught you to write that as a decimal of 0.05, and if you prefer to do that, that is completely fine. But if you can't remember, then we're going to do them all as over 100. Of his times, we put in our 14,990. We pop that in our calculator. So we have 5 fraction key 100, move across to times 14,990. And we don't want it as a fraction. I'm going to hit my S to D button, and that tells us that it's $749.50. The second type of percentage question we're going to look at today is when we increase or decrease by a percentage. Now, when we do that, if we increase something, we're going to be adding on. If we decrease, we're going to be taking off. We are going to find a percentage of an amount, like we did here in this first example, and then we're going to add it on or take it off, depending on what the question says. So Bianca works in a clothing store. As part of her job, she adds GST by increasing all prices by 10%. Calculate the price of a pair of jeans priced at $60 after GST is added. So GST is 10%. So the GST is 10% of the $60. So we're going to write that as 10 over 100 times $60. We put that in our calculator. 10 over 100 times 60, and we get $6. The cost, the GST is added to the jeans. So the jeans were $60 plus the GST amount. That equals $66. Now, if this question was about that being a discount, so there might have been a discount on the jeans because there was a sale on, at this point here, instead of adding on the percentage, we would take off the percentage. So your first job will always be to find the percentage of the amount, and then your second job is to work out whether you're going to add on or take off what you just worked out. The third thing that you need to be able to do is to calculate the percentage that is represented by an amount, like in percentage profit and loss. So there's a formula here for percentage profit, which is your profit over your cost price times 100, and the percents are just units that you use. And then percentage loss is your loss over your cost price times 100%, and again that's just units. So Rachel paid $650,000 for an apartment. She sold it for $790,000. Calculate Rachel's percentage profit correct to 1 decimal place. So first of all, we have to work out the profit. So the profit is the $790,000 take away what she started with, $650,000. So pop that on your calculator. And she's made a profit of $140,000. Now, we know it's a profit because she bought it for less than what she sold it for. If she sold it for less, then she would have made a loss. So we have to work out her percentage profit. So her percentage profit equals the profit over the cost price. So that's our profit over the cost price, which is $650,000. And we need to times it by 100, and we're going to put our percent in as units. So $140,000, I'm going to do divided by equals times 100, and we get 21, and we'll round it off, 21.5% is her percentage profit. So have a look for these ones. Sometimes you'll have to do loss, and you just use the loss formula. And if you have a look, our units, we didn't do anything with them, they just stayed in there. So need you to have a look at exercise 101, which is on page 5 of your textbook, or there's a booklet that's been sent home with the textbook pages, and that's what we're doing today. Make sure you message if you need any help.